Welcome, all of you, to this planned presentation preparation meeting. And we thank our interpreters who are here to help us. And I thank each one of you for being here. In continuity with the JPIC Promoters Formation Workshop, Doing Hope for the Planet invites us to take a decisive step forward to translate what we have learned into concrete, measurable actions. Knowledge and skills, when left unused, quickly fade and lose their transformative power. But when they are lived out, they become instruments of change and transformation for ourselves, for society, and for all creation. This call to action is not only practical, it is deeply rooted in our faith. In Genesis chapter 1, 26 to 28, God entrusts humanity with a mission to fill the earth and subdue it, a mandate often understood as a call to responsibility, develop and nurture the world. In Genesis chapter 2:15, we are placed in the garden to work it and take care of it, reminding us that we are not owners, but stewards and co-creators, called to cultivate, protect, and sustain life. Even in Genesis chapter 2:19, where Adam names the animals, we see God inviting humanity into a collaborative relationship in shaping creation. However, as revealed in Genesis chapter 3, this harmony was disrupted. The fall fractured our relationship with God, with one another, and with creation itself. Yet, this brokenness does not cancel our mission. It intensifies our responsibility. Today, in a world facing ecological and social crises, our role as stewards and co-creators is more urgent than ever before. Therefore, this presentation of action plans preparation is not simply an exercise or a report. It is a faith response, a concrete expression of our commitment to care for creation and to promote justice, peace, and integrity of creation. Our focus for today calls each participant to present a clear and concrete action plan that outlines tangible steps and expected outcomes, ensuring that these actions are realistic within your context and mission, aligned with JPIC priorities and the call to integral ecology, and guided by well-defined timelines for implementation. In this spirit, we now open ourselves to listen, to learn, and to be inspired by one another's commitment to transforming our world. And we know that left to ourselves, we are powerless. And that is why we always start events with prayer, the one who is our strength. I now invite Father Vincent to lead us in prayer. Father Vincent, as you all know, Father Roy finished his term and he's replaced by Father Vincent. So he's now the two of us in this office. So Father Vincent, you are welcome.
Oh, thank you. I share my screen. As we heard in the introduction, today the world is facing crisis, ecological, social. As JP's promoters, we are called to promote justice, peace, and care for the creation. We shall pray for peace today as the world is facing wars. And as we pray, we shall also pray for peace in Russia, Ukraine, USA, Israel, Iran, Gaza. We shall pray for these countries. There are many other countries which are facing problems, Nigeria, many other countries. We shall pray. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. We shall remain with the word of God for a few seconds. The birth of peace is in our heart. It is from our hearts. Peace goes and envelops the whole world. Therefore, we shall pray for peace in us and in the world. And these days, in the context of USA-Israel-Iran war, your video had been quite viral. While watching this video, we shall pray for all the people who become victims of war.
You told us share your toys and you told us that things grew away. But now the classroom has no wall, and no one answers when I call. Said that monsters don't exist while holding lightning in your head. Where is safe? The sirens sing a lullaby that makes the little babies cry. We run, but nowhere safe from the anger of yourself. You can. Your lines on map, we just want to sit on mama's lap. Tell me, look me in the eye. What? My brother sleeping in the storm, he wouldn't leave his bear alone. The sky is gray, the sun is dead, there's only fire and smoke instead. You talk of peace with guns in hand, a language kids can't understand. It's not our war, it's not our fight. We are the ones who breathe at night. In town, we all want to learn to hate and kill. We just want the world to please stand still. Tell me before we die. Is anybody listening? Is anybody there? Why? Just
We shall respond in our hearts to the question of the children, why? Why there is war? And they want the answer before they die. We shall pray together for all the victims of war. God of justice, peace and love, we lift up to you the children who suffer in war, those who are afraid, hungry, or displaced. Touch the hearts of our leaders and all people, that they may choose dialogue over violence. Give us courage to protect the innocent, strength to defend dignity, and wisdom to bring peace. May your peace begin in us so it can flow to families, communities, and nations. Heal wounds, restore hope, guide us to be builders of bridges. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Father Vincent, for that moving prayer, a prayer that invites us to action. So now we are going to listen to those who have sent their presentations to prepare for the actions. And those of us who are here, even if we don't have, you can still present later. You can send us an action plan if you desire to do so. So the first person is Adriano.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, welcome.
So good morning to all. I'm a Severian missionary. My name is Adriano. I'm originally from Brazil, but I've been living in Italy for quite some time. I worked for 13 years in Cameroon, in Chad, Africa. After some years, my congregation asked me to study something connected to geopolitics, and I ended up attending a course at the Lateran University. The title is Science of Peace, connected to the studies on peace, different conflicts from the international law, political science, but also with the tools of mediation. I finished this 3-year course, and now I'm continuing my studies still here at the Lateran University. And at the same time, I'm studying at the University of Peace of UN, cultural mediation and analysis of conflicts. So this is my background. And I would like to share this idea. Us Severians, we do a lot of the social activities in the different missions. We are present in 20 countries in 4 continents of the world. We do not have an organization of justice and peace or structure with somebody who is responsible for it. And this service now, I'm asked to start this in a very tranquil way. My congregation is helping me. And this is why I'm in touch with the different congregation. I attended this year workshop and tried to structure slowly the service of JPIC, so Justice and Peace, Integrity and Creation within my congregation. This is my role currently. So I'm not part of the general direction, and I am free. I'm free to do this service, not now, but I'm still studying at the 2 university. I'm already starting little steps. So I did not want to present a project connected to the structure of JPIC, because this is going to occur together with our lay brothers and sisters. But I wanted to present another project that is very dear to me, that is connected to my study of peace and nonviolence. And so I thought then I would like to truly put into practice this project, because it's also in the possibility that we have. I'm talking about young people who comes out of the peripheries where us Severians are, who can be peace builders. We know that in the peripheries, young people are vulnerable, more exposed to violence, to social exclusion, to poor education, to the lack also of dialogue and participation. And in these places, religion plays an important role. Also different religions, different communities in the large peripheries of Latin America, mostly Christians. But I also think about the peripheries of Asia that is quite interreligious, and religion can help to create peace, but also it can develop different conflicts. And this is always the case. And so to start from faith in order to build peace from youngsters, but to start from them, from young people. This, us Severian, we work in different peripheries of the world, large peripheries. We are in Sao Paulo, Mexico City, Kinshasa, Douala, Manila, and Jakarta, and many others in the north, Holliston, Manchester, Rome, Paris, Madrid, Osaka, Taipei, Bangkok. We are there with this opportunity of meeting young people. So the next slide, please. The idea was that of creating in 2 years' time, including youngsters of our peripheries together, first for training on what it means to build peace, what it means nonviolence, dialogue, and also ways to read their own context. But all this starting from the way that young people see the world, from a structure and formation, in order to try to read the world through the young people's eyes. So it would be a place to share experiences, different experiences, to learn activities of peace building. And the purposes are twofold. Allow these youngsters of the peripheries can create small projects that are achievable in their context. And the second one is to create a platform in the Severian world of young people who can create an observatory of peace. So this would be the methodology, as I mentioned very quickly, online formation on different topics, also by people, taught by people who have greater knowledge, as reflection and analysis of the local situation. And this is also very important, to be able to read one's own place and their conflicts and the possibility of creating peace in that specific context, and also to do some small projects, peace projects. This is the methodology we have chosen. Next slide, please. The resources, the necessary resources. The human resources, first of all, It's a group of young volunteers, ages going from 18 to 25. They should have basic knowledge of English to be able to communicate, facilitator, a reference person in each country, and then local coordinator, and then many other religious experienced people who can guide these groups. The educational resources, these are the documents that we can offer as a reflection basis. The courses that can be shared among young people with different formation and other resources to study and read and use, both the technical aspects and also the financial resources, looking within, because definitely we need some help, both to the creation of a platform and also to help the formators who are going to be available to teach youngsters, and also, and the second time also, to help to put into practice some of these projects. Here is a timeline from 1.5 years to 2 years at the beginning, 3 months to look for the young people, and then in the lives from 4 to 9 for the online formation, for 10 months to 15 months, in order to try to get into touch in that specific context, the cultural context, and then put into practice some action, and then possibly a final meeting among all the youngsters. This is one of our goals. What is the expected outcome or outcomes? So first, to create this awareness and to provide the necessary tools in order to become peace builders, because we talk about peace, sometimes we don't know that there is types of reading and tools to use in order to build in our small places peace. First, to create young people to have in 1 year time some language, professional language in the peace building and the mediation of conflicts, to share this knowledge, and then once have a contact with young people who come out of their own context and they're getting in touch with youngsters outside, and they discover that they have the same dreams, the same projects, and even if the difficulties are not the same, the difficulties are quite similar. Therefore, we know that the root of the solution of conflicts is always dialogue. When we are able to create structures that allow dialogue, that allow people to meet, we help to put into practice a safe transformation path in conflict resolution, and then to start from one's own faith to do something different and create definitely small initiatives. And as I said at the beginning, the last goal is that to create a network, a platform, including all young people, in order to create a sovereign committee of young people. And it's an observatory, a place to talk about peace, also go towards an advocacy. This is at the end of the path. This is the thank you. I am here to listen to you. Thank you, and to listen to your ideas and suggestions. And thank you for listening to me.
Adriano, wonderful project. When you say that it is not JPIC, what is it? If what you have presented is not about JPIC.
The structure. He was talking about structure.
Okay.
Well, not specifically as a JPIC structure. Not structure, not the goal.
Okay. Really, this is really wonderful if you can succeed to do that. Because I always say the young people and the women are the forgotten people, not just only in the church, but also in the society. So to think about them, for me, this is justice. And if you can help all these young people really to rally around peace building, conflict, do you see how the world will transform? Not just only in the lives of humanity, but also in the life of the whole of creation. Because our target is holistic, not just looking at human, but also looking at our common home, as Pope Francis calls it. Because transformation of our common home can help all of us to live in harmony with one another, So thank you so much. And now I invite comments, because the purpose of this preparation of the plans is to hear comments, suggestions, to help the person improve on their project. So your comments, observations, and reflections are welcome to help Adriano improve on his action plan. Just raise your hand, and the only thing is that you have not been able to up with a budget. So maybe you have to think of a budget to have to be able to implement. You have to gauge how much will the activities you want to carry out cost you. So like that, it helps you to plan very well. There is a hand up. Yes.
Congratulations, you did very well.
Is it the hand of Vincent or is somebody else? Okay. Somebody else comments?
He read the question on the chat on the
Okay.
age group. Yeah, the younger ones, 13 to 17 years old. I am a bit concerned to put ones who are younger than 18. We have a great concern, right, of defending or child protection. So to work in a sector in an international time where there's of different contexts are getting together, and at the beginning online doing this on, I found it more prudent to look for youngsters from 18 years old and more, perhaps at the local community. Then the youngsters who are more than 18 years old, they might look for the younger ones in their own specific contexts with the presence of others. So, but to create on an online system, I found it a bit not too prudent, at least for the time being, for our reflection that we have safeguarding minors, right?
So I think you will have to break that. You have to come up with your activities, break the activities down so that you can cost each activity to be able to plan very well. Thank you so much, Adriano. Really, I am so impressed with this, to think of the youth, and not just for any topic, but for peace building and conflict. This is what we need today when we see the way our world is going. So please really come up with activities, break down activities and cost each activities. And then you can implement it slowly. Even if it takes a few years, what is important is that it takes root. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So now we will go to the next person, presenter, Sister Seraphin. Sister Seraphin, Lasser, Seraphin C.
Good morning. I'm
Okay.
here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sisters and brothers. Good morning.
Bonjour.
Good morning.
This is Sister Seraphin, Dominican of the presentation. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. My name is Seraphin Catram of the Dominican Sisters of the Presentation. The title is Strengthening Communication Within Couples for Solid and Sustainable families, because many men come to us to say that it is impossible to communicate within their families, and this destroys families. So Justice and Peace Commission and the group of sisters delegated by a Dominican congregation. So we are here in Cameroon, and I'm a member of this Committee on Justice and Peace. In order to strengthen communication within the couple, the ultimate goal, the target is to contribute to improving and strengthening communication within couples to avoid conflicts and disputes within couples. We need to adopt a sustainable way of life, and we need to educate the couple to ecology and to ecological spirituality. So this is the action plan, and this is the calendar of activities, and you have the timing. And we would like to involve not only priests, but psychologists, physicians, for people to be able to know themselves, because if you do not know yourself, it's difficult for you to communicate with others, with your husband or with your wife. And it is for the good of children that the couple should be able to better communicate, because there's a lack of communication. And due to lack of communication, children are punished because parents do not understand them, and vice versa. And here you have the different costs, including the formation on the different topics. And there will be retreats, there will be recollections with families, not only Christian families. Most of them are Christian families, but they don't know how to put in place faith to avoid disputes, to avoid conflicts within their families. So we would like to form them on this. And these are the different costs that we have identified to form people, especially form the men who came to us because they would like to have a better stability and peace in their household. There's instability in families, and this is and the result being violence, domestic violence. So these are the activities that have been identified to be carried out with men to help them improve communicating with their spouse. Charism.
Les activités de la Commission Justice et Paix
So the activities of Justice and Peace
dans le
Commission
charisme dominicain dans
are
les
fully
mesures où ces derniers
rooted
mettent
in the Dominican
l'accent sur
charism
les recherches de
because
la
the
vérité,
emphasis is
la
on
compassion
looking for truth,
et
compassion,
l'engagement
and social
social
commitment,
dans le but
with
de
a view
répondre
to
à la
answering
question
the
de
question
renforcement
on
de la
how to
communication.
strengthen communication.
La
The
CGP
Justice and Peace
incarne
Commission
le charisme de
embodies
l'ordre
the
des
charism
prêcheurs
of the
dans
order
la
of
mesure
preachers
où elle met l'accent
because
sur la
emphasis
recherche de
is
la
put
vérité,
on
la
looking for
compassion
truth,
et
looking
l'engagement
for
social.
compassion and social
La
commitment.
recherche de la
So
communication
better communication
caractérise
is
l'héritage
characteristic of the
dominicain,
Dominican heritage.
permet de faciliter la communication
This
et
is to
réassurer
facilitate
tous
communication
les
and
acteurs,
reassure all the players involved
contribuer
to
à
contribute to
l'amélioration de
improving
vivre
living
ensemble
together
dans la
within our
société,
societies,
renforcement de la
strengthening
confiance dans
trust
la communication
in
et dans la
communication
justice et
and
la paix,
in justice and peace, people making people
réduction
trustful about justice and peace, to
des
reduce
conflits inutiles
useless
dans les foyers.
conflicts within families, within households.
Oui, ça
Thank
c'est
you
le
very much.
résultat.
This is the results.
Commentaires. Les
And then
difficultés
comments.
pourraient
Difficulties
ralentir la durée
might slow
d'exécution
down
de ces
the
projets,
execution
à
of this
savoir
project, the development
la
of this project. And
réticence
these difficulties are the resistance of beneficiaries
face au
when they are
changement de
confronted with
comportement,
changing, the need to
la
change their
faiblesse
behaviors,
d'engagement des
a
collaborateurs,
poor commitment of collaborators
difficulté
and
de
cooperators,
coordination des
and
activités
difficulties of coordinating
cause du
activities
non-engagement de
due to
certains
lack
couples.
of commitment of some couples. Thank you very much, sister.
That's it. Okay, you have
Thank you very
listened
much,
to
sisters.
Sister Seraphin's project. Now you can help her improve by asking questions for clarifications where you have not understood, or suggestions or comments to help her improve on her project. Any question, any comment, any suggestions?
Possibilities of dialogues with the sisters, with the couples, because the conflict is due to lack of dialogue. So there's no possibility for the husband to talk to the wife and vice versa. So we would like to have this possibility and to provide the spouses with the tools to apply and of course you should put more emphasis on the ways of communicating because within the couple there may be the interference of their families of origin. So each spouse has to serve their family of origin for a given period of time. This is what their families of origin expect of the young couples. Thank you very much for this suggestion.
Yes.
We'll be visiting you in Yaounde.
Okay, Geneviève.
Okay, Geneviève, good morning.
Bonjour.
And thank you very much for this presentation. I understand that there's an initial formation period, but I don't have clear in mind the second step because the slides were very, very quickly passed. What is the second step? there will be retreat, there will be recollection time with the couples to be relaxed. So the length of the project is 12 months, 1 year, no more than that. After the formation, there will be retreat. So formation is the whole year, lasts the whole year, yes. And during a formation, do the couples have the possibility to exchange with one another? Yes, and also with the formator and the couples among them. So this will be coordinated by the formator. So of course, there will be face-to-face meeting between the formator and the couple, and then between the couples. So they will be sharing their experience, and the way formation has helped them. Yes, this will be the feedback on what they learned. So we can say that this is their action plan to put in practice the formation that they have received, how to put in place within their household what they have learned during the formation. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, sister.
There is thank you, Genevieve. There is a question on the chat. Somebody wants to know if this formation will only be for the men, or it will be for both husbands and wives.
For both of them, husband and wife, because this is forming the couple. So both of them, both spouses will be formed.
So the person adds that to have a better behavior, will it be a stay overnight, or it will be full 7 nights to regroup, to relax, to release? How long will this formation take place, and will it have the possibility for them to regroup, to share, to relax?
So the retreat will be outside Yaounde for a couple of days. So of course there will be outings, and it's possible. If it's possible, there will be exchanges between the couples to talk to one another about what they have received during formation and how to apply that in their concrete life, day-by-day life.
Thank you. Any other comment, question? Who? Yeah, read it. Okay.
We would like to involve the psychologists because there may be mental disorders, and due to mental disorders, people suffering from mental disorders find it difficult to communicate. So the psychologists would be there to help those suffering from mental disorders. And also physicians should be there to talk about communicable diseases due to lack of fidelity within the couple. So this is the reason why we would like to involve psychologists and physicians. For example, sometimes the wife does not dare to say everything about her health, her reproductive health to the man. So with the help of physicians, they can better communicate if there's a problem of reproduction in the couple.
And then, c'est que les personnes disent que c'est bien d'impliquer les psychologues.
That it's good, it's right to involve physicians and psychologists, but also good example couples should be invited because they could share their positive experience as couples, and this might be helpful to all the other couples attending the formation. Thank you very much for this suggestion, sister. Thank you.
Geneviève?
Geneviève, And how about children? Are they integrated in this formation? There will be formation for them as well. Of course, it should be separate formation for children. And how are they invited to dialogue with their parents? We didn't include children, just the couple, because we want to improve the behavior of the couple, and this will have a positive impact on children if dialogue improves between the parents. The parents will be more relaxed and there won't be any issue on children. So if the behavior of the two parents changes, of course, there will be positive results for the children. So children have not been included in this formation on how to strengthen communication between the parents. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. So there is another question in the chat. Thank you, Sister Seraphin. This is a wonderful, important project for family. The couples will be helped to better their relationship with one another, especially in their communication. My question is, are there follow-up activities after this project is done? Say, to check in what way the project helped the couple? What will be the follow-up? Do you have something in mind after this project so that there can be a follow-up?
So first, we want to start immediately the formation, and then we'll be seeing how to improve this formation. So for the time being, we have just thought of the formation to improve communication within the couple, and then we'll see about the follow-up project.
Oh, okay, thank you. Other comments, questions, clarifications, suggestions?
They are most welcome, and thank you very much.
Yeah, for my part, I must say I like the project because we religious, we receive formation, even at different stages. We have what we call initial formation, we have what we call ongoing formation, but the couples, they hardly have any formation before marriage. If they go to the parish instruction 2-3 times and they get married, no formation whatsoever. So whatever they do, they're doing their best. So I'm happy to see that this is a concern and that you are taking it on, And I find it's a good beginning, but you have to think of, how do you say, follow up. And like the two issues that have come up, one is follow up, one is the children. But the children also need formation to know how to deal with their parents, how to respect, how to collaborate with their parents. Especially these days, we have what you call freedom for all, in a way that children don't know who their parents are. They are just nothing, especially what the influence that they're getting from society and in the schools. So I think this is something you have to think about, and it's a good beginning. Start with the couples and then think of the children and also the follow-up of these couples. And I hope it will not just be one group, but this is something that will be ongoing, because we need this if we want transformation in our society, in our common home. Thank you so much for such an important project. Any other?
Thank you very much for your contribution. Appreciated.
Yeah. If nobody else has a question in the chat, we don't see anything, then we will thank Sister Seraphin for such an important project and of thinking of the couples. And I see in this, already there are 2 projects which are targeting the forgotten groups in our society. The youth, the couples, very, very, very important. So Sister Seraphin, thank you so much. And we'll be looking forward to hear the outcome and the continuation. Thank you so much. So the next.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, thank you. So dear sisters and brothers, we have learned about justice, peace, and integrative creation in the workshop. From that, we have identified some themes, areas of concern to make project. You have also studied, as a Catholic missionary, how we need to do social apostolate for social transformation. Though we all know about it, I want to take this opportunity to remind ourselves how to make a mission apostolate. And I want to take the theme of infanticide as an area of concern for which we can make a project. In the place of infanticide, you have already project among the youth, project among the couples for improving the peace and family life. So anything you can take it. So I just give an example of infanticide, children being killed. The Catholic way of doing the project is we need to see the reality, what's happening, becoming aware of the situation, how I see, how the people see this problem, and then we need to make a discernment. In other words, it's a judging discernment. Why this is taking place. About this, what the Bible says, what the teachings of the church say, what my founders have said, what my general chapters have said, provincial chapters have said. So in this seeing and discerning, I should come to know whether as a religious, for example, as a Dominican, as a Claretian, whether this is proper for me to do this, because each congregation has got their own charisms. Therefore, we have to see whether we are called to respond to this. Then, what are we going to do this? The action is not only to remove the symptoms. For example, there is hunger. It's not only just feed them, also eventually to eradicate the root causes of the problem. Then after having done this, we have to evaluate. This evaluation should begin at the beginning stage itself. I see the problem. So that itself an evaluation of the society. That is assessing the need of the society. And then we begin the problem, begin the mission, and while the mission is going on, we evaluate. This is known as formative assessment. And then at the end of the project, again we evaluate it. This is known as summative assessment. And the experience that we have after the summative assessment, final assessment, becomes a new experience for us to continue the project. So this is the summary of my presentation. Let's go ahead. In all our congregations, there are people, religious individuals who are involved in mission. Now you can take just a few seconds to evaluate whether that person, that missionary, sister or brother or priest is doing the mission as a religious, as a member of the congregation, as a member of a community. It's not only what a person does, whether it is done as a mission. Just take a few seconds. We have positive as well as little negative experiences. We come across religious who are involved in social work, JPIC work. They can be individualistic, secular, like an NGO. They may be causing disturbance in the community. There can be people who criticize always the provincial, general administration, always negative about the community members, may not give space for the community members to participate in it. At the same time, we have also religious who are very inspiring, very fulfilling, very happy, and they do all the process with the community, with the people, with the NGOs. So we have both the type of experiences. Now, as I already told you, this presentation is to know how we should do a project. Let me give a story. The story comes from a social reformer, community organizer, Saul Alinsky. He lived between 1909 and 1972. He gave a parable of infanticide. It was given in 1930. You can look at this picture. There are a few people on the roadside standing. As they were chatting, they heard the cry of the children in the midst of the river. They started looking at. They saw babies floating in the river. Some of them were on the roadside. They jumped and started saving the babies. Other people could not jump because they did not swimming, and they brought the babies out. By the meantime, again the babies were coming. More people were jumping into. The whole village was engaged in saving. After saving the babies, many babies were dying because they did not have facilities to attend to the medical emergencies. And all babies couldn't be saved because there were not enough trained people to save, to jump, to swim. There were no hospitals. And then there were more children who are saved. There were no schools. They needed schools. They needed ambulance services. Like this, the project was getting expanded. There were hospitals, there were ambulances, swimming schools, life-saving technique trainings. All that was multiplying. As these are multiplying, one man jumped into the river. Instead of saving the baby, he was swimming across the river, across the stream. And people were asking, don't you have a heart? Children are dying. You are not saving. You are swimming somewhere else. That man said, no. I want to see who are throwing the babies into the water, and I want to stop them. When this man said, all other people were shocked. He said, if man is going to stop the people from throwing the babies into the river, what would happen to the projects, the school, hospital, ambulance services, and all the people who are employed in this? They will go jobless. And they thought this shouldn't happen. So this is a story of the infanticide. Now in this story, please think, What did the people see first? What were they aware of? Did they make a discernment before starting the project? Did they think about the root causes, who are throwing, from where the babies are coming, and what action they did? That means, was there proper seeing, judging, and acting? Was there full awareness, discernment, and commitment? Please take 1 minute to jot down. Can any of you share about your these questions? Okay, we go ahead. Why the project failed? Why did the people go wrong? Is it because of being aware? Yes, they saw, but they did not have proper discernment. They directly jumped into the river and started saving. Other related to that, they were doing activities. So what was missing in the villages was the discernment part of it. Many a time, as religious, we also do mistakes in this. Therefore, we need to have seeing, judging, acting. This is the Catholic pastoral method. This is seen in the Catholic social teachings. In Mater Magistra, number 236, Pope says, there are 3 stages in which should normally be followed in the reduction of social principles into practice. One reviews the concrete situation, that is seeing. One forms a judgment on it, the light of the gospel. This is discerning. Thirdly, one decides what in the circumstances can and should be done to implement these principles. These are the 3 stages that are usually expressed in the 3 terms: look, see, judge, and act. So these are also seen in the other documents also. For example, we see this in Gaudium Spes and many other social doctrines. What is exactly this? This is a methodology, the technique that we have to do. This is a pastoral cycle. In other words, this is called doing theology or doing the praying. We begin with our experience, life experience. For example, infanticide is happening. We see this in various forms and it has to be stopped. And then we go for social analysis. Why if infanticide is happening? Is it because of economic factors? Is it because of political factors? Is it because social factors? Is it because historical factors? Is it because cultural factors? Is it because scientific factors? Why it is happening? So we need to make an analysis of the problem. This analysis is done by anybody, any NGO, but we are religious. And we are going to do as a Catholic missionary. Therefore, we should ask the question, what does the Bible say about it? The social doctrine of the church says, what the congregational tradition says on female infanticide. This is the faith response. If we miss this, and there will not be any difference between an NGO and us. And this is the main reason many people who are involved in social work, they lose their vocation. They say, they also do and I also do. And for doing this, why should it be a religious? Therefore, this faith reflection response is very, very important. When we see the Bible, it has a lot of references that we need to work with the babies. I just give 1 or 2. Psalm 127, children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring, a reward from him. And in the New Testament also we have a lot. Matthew 18, 1-5. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of God. We have several. Also in the Catholic Church, we have doctrines, encyclicals, pastoral exhortations, which ask us to work among the children. Also, we need to know, is it our charism? What my foundress says about it? As our provincial chapters, general chapters have thought about it. And then we go for planning. And the first stage of planning is prayer. We need to ask, Lord, what do you want me to do this? And every social worker, JP's promoter, need to be a person of prayer. Our social action need to come from the deep contemplation. Therefore, I would recommend always that every day 1 hour of contemplative prayer. If we don't do this, then our action will be failing. It will not be an evangelization activity. And then this planning has to be done as a community, not as individuals. Also, along with the people, whatever is done without the participation of the people is not for the people. Therefore, as a community, along with the local community, in partnership with the other NGOs. Also, in planning, we need to articulate the future vision. And our resources are limited, therefore, you have to prioritize where I'm going to spend. And we need to create appropriate structures like schools or training for swimming and all that. And we need to foresee the obstacles in the planning. Therefore, the planning has to be what I am going to do, how I am going to do, for whom I am going to do, or who is going to do, where we are going to do, and when we are going to do. So 5 questions. And you have present your projects, and it will be very nice if you are converting a project like this, what will be done and how it will be done, where it will be done, who is responsible, who will do it, when it will be done, and then means for doing. So this is planning, and then we need to go for evaluating. Evaluating is assessing our action and learning from it. And from this experience become again our new experience for continuing the project. There are 4 stages in evaluation. While planning itself, it's called a needs assessment. What we need to do, what activities, what resources. Otherwise, doing it, we have to assess. When the project is underway, formative assessment. And then at the end of the project, summative assessment. And that experience becomes a beginning for a new project. Therefore, our project has to be begins with experience. We make social analysis, faith reflections, theological reflections, response in the form of action, evaluations at the beginning, need assessment, formative, summative, and then it becomes a new experience for us. So this is how our projects have to be. There are a lot of books available for this, models of contextual theology, context theology for the 21st century, constructing local theologies, doing local theology, the new Catholicity, or resources for us to do theology and to do the praying. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vincent, for this way of presenting the methodology See, Judge, and Act. I find it very practical, and I hope that it will help you to improve on your action plan and to prepare yourself for the final presentation. So now we still have Sister Yvonne, who is here now to present a project. Sister Yvonne, you have 15 minutes to do that.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. Sorry about that, but have very unstable connection. So if I put on my camera, there will be unstable connection. So good morning, everybody.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome.
I'm Sister Yvon Yakana, Dominican missionary of the Holy Family, and the title is Fight Against Unhealthy Life in the city of Yaounde. This is my plan. So we have the Commission for Justice and Peace, and we focus on the realities of society, and there's an unhealthy environment, and we would like to help to solve this issue of unhealthy environment. And the reality in Yaounde is that ecology has become something that is overlooked. So it's not my job, it's others who have to take care of the road where I live. And so within our commission, Justice and Peace, we would like to sensitize the local population to raise awareness about the value and the importance of hygiene, to help the population to reduce by half all the communicable diseases that are due to the unhealthy environment where the population lives, and where households live, and healthy markets. So this is the reason for our project. We would like to transform the environmental practices of neighborhoods in Yaounde, and we would like the participation, and we would like to mobilize the different stakeholders. So we focus on Laudato Si. We would like to adopt a healthy lifestyle, and we want to improve ecological education. This is no more fashionable in Yaounde, and we want it to be again as our focus. So we would like to start next September to February, September 2026 until to February 2027. So this is our organizational chart. So we have several activities with specific targets to be attained. And the ultimate goal is to make a contribution, not for something new, but we would like concrete actions to be taken to improve the healthy environment of the people in Cameroon, to reduce pathologies, to reduce diseases that are transmitted due to our bad behaviors, because we do not dispose our waste. So I'm not going into further details of all the activities. I don't know whether I have to read all the activities of our planning. So there will be formation to give the possibility to all the participants to understand the activities, and you have the costs of our project. So the amounts we need to organize our meeting sessions, and to have a resourceful people. And we would like to organize sensitizing campaigns, awareness raising campaigns to improve. So we embody the charism of the order of preachers, and we would like to sensitize people. We want to look for truth, and we would like to involve the laity in our project and promoting the disposal of the waste. So we have, as a congregation, ecological responsibility, and we have the duty to preach justice and protect our common home. This is how we would like to put in practice our charism, considering the current reality of unhealthy living environment for people in Yaounde. This is a very delicate issue. What are the expected results? After sensitizing people and reminded these principles, we would like to raise awareness, and we would like a culture of respect for the environment to be developed, because this is our common home, and we are called upon to take care of our common home. And we would like a reduction of waste, because in Yaounde, in all streets, there's waste in the streets, and through this culture, we would like to reduce by half all the litters we find in the streets, and we would like the reduction of diseases. We would like to reduce malaria, which is becoming an emergency. Then there's diarrhea and other diseases due to unhealthy environment. We want to sensitize people to the fact that it's not a problem of others, of those who are diseased, but it's a problem of all of us, of all the population. So we all have to give our best in order to reduce the waste, because we would like to have a healthy environment, and this contributes to the care of our common home. And then we want to identify the difficulties, the resistance of the beneficiaries, because it's a question of changing habits and way of living. And it's sometimes difficult to develop this healthy culture. So there's a need to sensitize people, and we need to start from the grassroots, from primary school, from elementary school, because we want to sensitize children who will be the citizens of tomorrow. And we know that there will be poor commitment by our collaborators, and some populations will be hindrance to us. So we need to encourage people to participate, and will be confronted with the slow administrative institutions. Of course, we need the cooperation of public administration, and sometimes it is difficult because the public administration does not want to be accused of lack of jobs, lack of legislation, lack of securities, and another difficulty will be coordinating activities between different neighborhoods because people do not have the habit of understanding that there's a need to cooperate. So these are all the difficulties that we expect to encounter while developing our projects. But we know that if there's 2 or 3 people cooperating, this can help other people to become aware, to get involved, to accept to get involved. So this work needs time. It takes time to involve people, to convince people to get involved. So it takes time. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, sister. I don't know whether you have any questions.
Yeah.
Feel free to put them now.
Yes.
I'm available. So this is the reality of our different neighborhoods. So you can see that the environment is very unhealthy, and this is a problem that should involve everybody, all the population, not just a few people.
So thank you very much, Yvonne, for this important project, which is about cleanliness. And in talking of it, you see, it's connected to health. You know, a healthy environment is makes us healthy, but unhealthy environment make us sick. So it is an important project which is connected to justice, peace, and integrity of creation, integral ecology. It is all that. So now I would like to invite you to give comments or questions or suggestions to Yvonne to improve on her project. Any question, any comment, any suggestions?
I have a question. I left Cameroon some time ago, and I know the situation very well of unhealthy environment. Now in Cameroon, do you already have recycling cooperatives or not yet? Because it is true that waste collection, everything is mixed. There's no separate collection, and this is related to another problem. Countries from the global north sending their waste to Africa. But do you have any recycling cooperatives? Do you already have cooperatives? Because, of course, the other day I was watching a video, and in some African countries they are transforming organic waste in coal to be used as a source of energy. I don't know whether you have projects like this in Yaounde. Not yet. This culture of recycling. No culture of recycling plastic and bottles. There are some cooperatives recuperating plastic and glass, but it's not widespread culture of recycling. It should become more and more widespread. And we've learned in Consecrated Life, there's a sister that tries to work organic waste, but this is not accepted by people because people say this is toxic, this is hazardous. So there's no culture of recycling. Not yet in Yaounde. In the western part of Cameroon, there's a private citizen who's started a landfill. So all the organic waste are sent to the west. So he does the separate collection, but this is not really widespread, and we have to develop a culture of recycling in our culture. Thank you very much, sister.
We have one question on the chat. Excellent project, good initiative. Garbage will still be there. What alternatives have you thought of? What alternatives have you thought of disposing it? This is a big challenge of bringing about a mindset change, I suppose. Yeah. Do you have any alternative of disposing the waste?
As alternatives, we said a project will be for young people and children, because children will be the citizens of tomorrow, and children are more able to receive this concept and are more able to put in practice this initiative. For example, separate collection to be developed in schools to avoid children to throw their waste on the ground, but use the separate collection bins. So, and there should be companies and to be developed. So it's better to involve the children and young people to develop this culture of recycling, to use compost to be used as manure in the fields. But there's a lack of a culture of reuse and recycle. And I think that we start off with children and young people. These are the alternatives that we have thought of. But of course, plastic and glass bottles are being reused, but then the organic waste will be used as manure to fertilize the ground. I hope this answers your question, she says.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other question, comment, suggestions? I just want to share something I saw once on the, it was in the news in Kenya, in Mombasa. A group of young people, they go to the hotels to collect all the leftover food that is thrown. And then they go to start, they kind of use it in a way that they produce chicken feed from it and also organic manure that they use in the field. I really found it fascinating. If I have the possibility to learn that, I will do that, because in the cities, a lot of food from the hotels is thrown away. And this can be used, you know, as organic fertilizer, and for chicken feed, you know, you produce these maggots, you go to feed your chickens, you know. And this is very good protein for the chickens. Thank you. Yes, Vincent?
Thank you very much for the very beautiful project. Really very good for saving the planet. I want to take this project into my personal life. The basic question that I ask myself is, do I produce waste? How much plastic which I use? Do I use plastic cups, plastic spoon, plastic bag? Also about my clothing. How much cotton which I use, which can naturally recyclable? How much synthetic I use it? Or how much energy which I am using? Am I energy saving? So we need to develop personal habits not to create more waste. At the same time, we need to also involve recycling. Thank you.
Just to add to what, what
Thank you very much, Father.
Father Vincent is saying, I think, yes, and it's not just personal, but also in the community. You know, how do we help one another in community to produce less waste? And I can give a concrete example. When I arrived in my community here, we used to produce a lot of waste, from buying yogurt in these small plastic things to all kinds of things, using plastic to cover our things. But slowly up to now, we make our own yogurt. I followed a course with the UN where we are told, whatever you can produce yourself, produce it, don't go to buy. And since we started producing our own yogurt, we no longer produce. When we go shopping, we go with our own bags. We don't collect any plastic bag from the shops. We try to produce less waste as much as possible. We used to have big bins. Now those bins are sitting there idle, nothing to collect. So I think we have to start from personal to community, our religious communities, and into the bigger, because examples speak louder than words. So I think that Pope Francis has brought Laudato Si to challenge us. When we talk of change of lifestyle, we have to look at our lifestyle as religious, because there are things even we buy, we don't need them, but we just buy because we think we have money. Can I do with less, or can I do even without? Sometimes it's not necessary. So I think whether it is what we are saying, whether it is in this project of cleanliness, or whether it is work with the youth, or whether it is work with the couples, they need to see examples, not words. Examples from us, not words. So I think any other general comment before we finish? Dear friends, JPIC promoters, as we conclude this preparation for the presentation of our action plans, we are reminded that our mission does not end here. It begins here. The plans we have shared are not merely ideas, but concrete commitments to live our vocation as faithful stewards and co-creators in a prophetic and countercultural way, especially in a world often marked by self-interest and exploitation. Our actions are not driven by personal gain, but by a clear purpose to contribute to the transformation of our world and the flourishing of all creation for the greater glory of God. Rooted in God's call in Genesis and mindful of the brokenness brought about by the fall, we are now sent forth with a clear mission to refine, strengthen, and where possible, implement our action plans. Those who have not yet presented but wish to do so are warmly encouraged to share their plans as well. Together, through realistic and collaborative efforts, we are called to restore, heal, and transform our common home, especially in service of the most marginalized and vulnerable. Every action we take, no matter how small, carries real value, contributing to the rebuilding of harmony with God, with one another, and with all creation. Let us therefore move forward with clarity of purpose, commitment to concrete actions, and trust in a defined path forward, sustained by hope in the risen Lord who renews all things and works with us in our mission. May our plans bear visible fruit. May our collaboration deepen our impact, and may our shared commitment become a credible witness to justice, peace, and integrity of creation. I sincerely thank each one of you for your presence and participation. Whether you have presented a plan or not, your contribution brought through presence, collaboration, and shared reflection has enriched this gathering. We also extend heartfelt gratitude to our translators whose service has ensured understanding, inclusion, and meaningful exchange among us. As we know, the final presentation will take place on the 30th of April. So those who are interested to present action plans, you can prepare, take into consideration the comments you have heard and the input of Father Vincent, and then you can send to us and you will be included in the final presentation. And also we have another group this afternoon at 3. Please come to support them. There are people who will be presenting this afternoon also. Come to support them. And then your presence, you will hear new presentations, actions, because all these things help to broaden our minds. May the Lord bless you and your families abundantly. Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you this afternoon and also on the 30th of April. Blessings. Yeah. So, yes. So thank you so much. We're happy that you are here. So, dear friends, welcome to our action plans presentation preparation. As you know, every year, the JPIC Commission offer a formation workshop to all JPIC promoters. And in continuity with this JPIC promoters workshop, Sowing Hope for the Planet invites us to take a decisive step forward to translate what we have learned into concrete, measurable actions. Knowledge and skills when left unused, right?
They are transformative power. But when they are lit out, they become instruments for change and transformation for ourselves, for society, and for all creation.
This call to action is not only practical, it is deeply rooted in our faith. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 28, God entrusts humanity with a mission to fill the earth and subdue it, a mandate often understood as a call to responsibility, develop and nurture the world. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, we are placed in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it, reminding us that we are not owners, but stewards and co-creators, called to cultivate, protect, and sustain life. Even in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19, where Adam names the animals, we see God inviting humanity into a collaborative relationship in shaping creation. However, as revealed in Genesis chapter 3, this harmony was disrupted. The fall fractured our relationship with God, with one another, and with creation itself. Yet, this brokenness does not cancel our mission. It intensifies our responsibility. Today, in a world facing ecological and social crisis, and looking at what is happening now, political crisis as well, our role as stewards and co-creators is more urgent than ever before. Therefore, this presentation of action plans is not simply an exercise or a report. It is a faith response, a concrete expression of our commitment to care for creation and to promote justice, peace, and integrity of creation. In other words, we want to build peace. For our focus today calls each participant to present a clear and concrete action plan that outlines tangible steps and expected outcomes, ensuring that these actions are realistic within your context and mission, aligned with JPIC priorities, and a call to integral ecology, guided by well-defined timelines for implementation. In this spirit, we now open ourselves to listen, to learn, and to be inspired by one another's commitment to transforming our world. Welcome each one of you, and welcome our interpreters who are here to help us understand one another. And as we know, alone we can do nothing. That is what Jesus tells us. And that's why we always start with a spiritual exercise to ground ourselves in the one who strengthens us in his mission. So I now invite Father Vincent to lead us in prayer.
Dear sisters and brothers, we are promoters of justice, peace, and integrative creation. As we heard in the introduction, the present world, justice, peace, and the creation are disturbed. And we are able to feel the disturbance caused to the peace through war. Therefore, we shall pray for peace, peace within us and peace in the world. Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid." We shall remain with this word of God for a few seconds. The disturbance in the heart causes disturbance in the world. Let's pray for peace in our hearts and peace in the world. Whenever there is war, it is the vulnerable people who stand affected the most, especially children. In the context of war between USA, Israel against Iran, the children stand affected. And they say, "You are fighting for the lines in the map, world map, but we want our mother's laps to rest. Tell us why you are engaging in war and we are dying. Tell us the answer before we die."
Told us share your toys and play. You told us bad things grew away. But now the classroom has no wall, and no one answers when I call. You said that monsters don't exist while holding lightning in your fist. The sirens sing a lullaby that makes the little babies cry. We run, but nowhere safe from the anger on father sleeping in the stone, he wouldn't leave his bear alone. The sky is gray, the sun is dead, there's only fire and smoke instead. You talk of peace with guns in hand, a language kids can't understand. It's not our war, it's not our fight. We are the ones who freeze at night. Take your medals, take your pride, give us back the place we own. Why do you burn the garden down? Why are you kings of broken towns? We don't want to learn to hate and kill. We just want the world to please stand still. Tell me before we die. Why? Is anybody listening? Is anybody there? Why? Just why?
The children want to know why there is war. As promoters of justice and peace, we need to answer. We shall pray. We shall pray together. God of justice, peace, and love, we lift up to you the children who suffer in war, those who are afraid, hungry, or displaced. Touch the hearts of leaders and all people, that they may choose dialogue over violence. Give us courage to protect the innocent, strength to defend dignity, and wisdom to bring peace. May your peace begin in us so it can flow to families, communities, and nations. Heal wounds, restore hope, and guide us to be builders of bridges. Amen.
Amen. Father Vincent, thank you so much for such an inspiring prayer. Do we have an answer for the children? And this is what many children are living every day in many parts of the world. May the Lord give us the courage and the strength to bring our contribution to make this world a better place where children can live in peace. So now we will go to our presentation. And I think the first presentation is Sister Melinda. So Sister Melinda, you are welcome to present your plan.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Sister Mama Dupar and Father Vincent and co-workers in the vineyard of the Lord. I humbly present my action plan with the title Hijas de Jesus, Weaving Networks of Care as an expression of JPIC. I am from the Hijas de Jesus congregation. I am here in Rome serving as a counselor. This is my first year as counselor, so I still have 5 years of stay here in Rome. So, yeah. Can I move forward?
Yes, please.
Yes, thanks. Using the methodology of see, judge, and act, I have the following as the method of see. Through mapping our geographical, social, and existential peripheries, we perceive the growing fragility of life in many contexts: migrants, refugees, displaced persons, marginalized communities, and the woundedness of our common home. These peripheries we have seen as a congregation, geographical, social, and existential, continue to multiply. And so, last year we had a general congregation, and that is the 19th general congregation of our congregation. And we noted that despite technological and economic progress, equity and social welfare remain stagnant, and the throwaway culture persists in excluding many. We recognize the expanding peripheries of today's world and the profound need for accompaniment, solidarity, and networks of care. Their reality challenges us, moves us to seek concrete forms of support.
Yeah.
It becomes essential to identify the network already present around us and to discern our real possibilities for participation. And in
Yeah.
all of this, care for our common home and a spirituality of care emerge as an unavoidable priority, inviting us to respond with compassion, creativity. As a judge methodology, part of that methodology, being illuminated by our charism of filiation and the spirituality of communion, we discern that these realities that I have mentioned a while ago, through the lens of the gospel and the call to the church, our identity as Jesus urges us to respond with tenderness, justice, and hope. And the encyclicals Laudato Si and the Fratelli Tutti invite us to embrace spirituality of care and ongoing personal, communal, and institutional conversion. And so, moved by this discernment, we commit ourselves to strengthening our presence at the peripheries, creating spaces of encounter and shared reflection, collaborating with institutions and congregations, offering JPIC formation, in consolidating ministries that care for people and creation. And through these actions, we seek to weave networks of care based on our affiliation, commitment to creation, and to our brothers and sisters. From the awareness of our affiliation, we feel called to participate actively in diverse networks of care, and we recognize interdependence and the need to collaborate with others. We want to join those who work for the most marginalized and those who are forced to move from their places of origin, such as the migrants, refugees, displaced persons. And so, as I have mentioned, the title of the plan is Hijas de Jesus, Weaving Networks of Care. And for the context, entrusted by our General Superior with accompanying our presences at the peripheries and strengthening our participation in networks of care, I would like to focus on reinforcing what is already alive and working closely with communities living in mission, acknowledging that institutionalizing JPIC is a long-term journey. My immediate priority was to map our geographical, social, and existential peripheries, where many sisters already collaborate in caring for people and creation. And so this project seeks to support their ongoing journey and lay foundations for a deeper shared JPIC culture. The objective of this plan is to strengthen our presence at the peripheries and in networks of care rooted in filiation, committed to creation, solidarity with the marginalized, and continual personal and communal conversion. So I have this first activity, activity 0, which is to share the guide designed to encourage and accompany communities in their active involvement within networks of care. And I wish to do this within this time frame, May 2026 to May 2028. The following indicators for the qualitative growth in solidarity, collaboration, and shared responsibility, strengthen relationships with partner organizations. And I hope that the guide could be shared to at least 20 of our community. 5 new initiatives launched, 15 sisters participating in their monthly network activities. Second activity is to visit the communities at the peripheries, on-site or online, within 3 years of this time of this project. And hopefully, sisters will feel listened to, supported, and connected to the wider body of the Institute. And at least 5 communities will be visited, 15 sisters participating, and reports produced after each visit. For the next activity, I hope to organize encounter spaces, dialogue circles, community prayers, and celebrations for sisters serving at the peripheries that allow them to reflect together on the realities confronting justice, peace, and the care of our common home. And this will be for 3 years, within 3 years. And hopefully, we could establish a safe, trusting spaces, clear JPIC alignment, testimonies of the mission. Hopefully, 10 encounter spaces I will be able to organize, represented by 5 to 10 communities. The next activity is to create connections with people, institutions, and congregations committed to JPIC-related work for 2 years. And hopefully, I could have a deeper expression of collaboration and effective joint actions with the other congregations or institutions. And collaboration with at least 2 institutions and four congregations and 15 sisters involved with 50 persons reached through advocacy actions. And the next activity is to offer formation on justice, peace, and integrity of creation with a time frame of 3 years so that we could have a more clear, relevant, and intercultural access to formation. And hopefully at least one session, we could produce one session annually, 90 minutes each, with 10 sisters participating from 5 provinces. I think this will be the last activity, consolidate the ministries of our communities in justice, peace, and sustainability of our common home. This will be from June 2026 to May of 2029. And here we hope that the ministries integrate sustainable practices and compassionate accompaniment. Hopefully 3 ministries will be able to integrate JPIC actions. 50 people will be served. 2 communities will be able to implement Laudato Si commitments. And how is our charism relate with these activities of the action plan? The longing of Mother Candida Maria de Jesus, our foundress, expressed in these hopeful words: "Whoever wishes to belong to this our congregation, which I wish to be called the daughters of Jesus," resounds in us today as a deepest identity, a reflection of our being in the church. We are by vocation daughters and sisters, called to resemble Jesus as a son resembles his father, and sent into a world that awaits and needs the witness of a life surrendered to God. We are invited to move toward the peripheries where life is most fragile and where networks of care are urgently needed. The spirituality of communion inspires spaces of encounter, listening, and shared discernment. Our simplicity and closeness guide the accompaniment of communities and the strengthening of relationships with those who suffer. Through formation, collaboration, and the consolidation of ministries, we seek to care for life and be bonds of solidarity rooted in tenderness, compassion, and hope. And this plan hopes to generate deeper communion among sisters serving at the peripheries and stronger participation in networks of care that respond to the cries of people and creation. By sharing the guide, visiting communities, and organizing spaces of encounter, we expect greater clarity, mutual support, and renewed commitment to JPIC values. This plan, collaboration with institutions and congregations will widen our impact and strengthen our advocacy for migrants, refugees, and marginalized groups. Mission initiatives will nurture a shared JPIC culture across provinces. Consolidating ministries will ensure coherence, visibility, and long-term sustainability. Ultimately, the fruit we seek is a congregation more united in mission, more attentive to the vulnerable, and more committed to the care of our common home. As part of my comments, the process of shaping this plan has revealed both the richness of our existing commitments and the need for greater coordination, visibility, and shared responsibility. Next slide, please. The diversity of contexts, languages, and time zones presents challenges, yet it also opens opportunities for creative forms of connection and accompaniment. Strengthening JPIC requires patience, formation, and ongoing discernment, especially as sisters balance many demands in their local missions. The desire to strengthen our presence in networks of care reflects a growing awareness that care for life and creation is an important part of our being in the church. As this plan unfolds, it will be important to listen attentively to communities, remain flexible, and allow the Spirit to guide the weaving of networks that reflect the compassion and hope of Jesus. These are just some of the pictures I have at the moment, and this is taken from the refugee camps in Mae Hong Son, Thailand. We are actively collaborating with JRS in this refugee camps. So this is the way going to the school of the refugees, right? Climb a mountain to be able to reach the school. And as part of our collaboration with JRS, we are training para teachers in the camp. We are involved in the education and the accompaniment of parents. Okay, in the Philippines, we have this project which we call Housing Project. And we have a very a poor community in Misamis Oriental in the Philippines, in Mindanao area. So we provide, no, we support them in terms of their housing, because the people in the community are poor and they're living in shanties, and so we thought of helping them build their own houses. So this is one of those houses that we were able to support. This is another kind of house that we have built for them. They collaborate in the building of the house, not just us giving them, but they also do their contribution. And the next slide, I think that's the last. So these are the three houses that I chose for the moment. And I'm sure there will be more pictures, but at hand, these are the pictures I could share. Thank you so much, Mama, Sister Mama Dipol, and Father.
Really wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome.
I think I like this topic. Weaving networks of care as an expression of JPIC. Isn't that wonderful? Is it that sometimes we are looking at JPIC as something that is out there and our ministries are on the other side? But JPIC is an umbrella under which all our ministries fall under. And I like the way you have framed this. And in this, you will help your sisters to have a holistic view of JPIC, that the ministry they are involved in is about JPIC. JPIC is not something extra added. It is the basis of our mission as religious, as Catholics, as Christians, as followers of Jesus. Looking forward to getting some feedback on how things are going. And things like this, that's what we learn from here. So I'll now invite those who are listening to either ask questions for clarification if there are things they don't understand, or to make their comments, or to give suggestions that can help you improve on your plan. Thank you very much. Really, it really draws my attention. Thank you.
Sister, actually, I am very happy doing this activity.
That's great.
It's a way also of assimilating what I have learned from the conference.
Great, great. It means you really captured what was really the issues. Really, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Any
was
comments?
inspired doing
Yeah.
it.
Yes, you did well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any comments? Any questions? Any suggestions?
Thank you for the applause.
Any encouragement? Vincent.
Dear sister, compliments. You have done excellently well.
Thank you, Father.
And you have followed all the steps also. You have begun to explain the See, Judge, Act principles. And accordingly, you have prepared your plan. The plan also has got a plan. The activities, the time frame. When the activities are carried out, what will be the indicators? So the plan format is also very good. The plan can be still improved.
Yes.
For example, the plans are very large plans for 1 year or 3 years. It can be, but if you are able to make it a little more concrete, and it will be nice. So it will be more achievable. Otherwise, what happens, you want to have in 1 year how many seminars, and then we have the tendency to postpone till the end of the year, and then we will catch it up. If it is a little more sharp and small, it will be very good. Then the photos that you have given are very good. Makes the plan very live. It gives a real face. All the best. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Father.
Thank you. Any other comment? I don't remember if I seen a budget. Did you add a budget?
Sister, no, because I don't see any expenses at the moment. Perhaps when I concretize the plan,
Yes, exactly.
to see, I will be able
to see the cost.
the budget. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I also like the way you start with See, Judge, Act. It is very nice. If no other comments, we say thank you so much, and we wish you all the best, and we'll be looking forward to hear the results, of what is going on. And I think that so that we can continue to learn from one another. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome to.
So now we go to our next presenter. Who is the next one? Is Joao here? Okay, Joao, now the floor is yours. Hi, Joao. It's your turn to present your plan.
The project
I am
is in
speaking
Spanish, but
Portuguese.
I'm going to speak in Portuguese. Well, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to be able to show a global project in my organization, because we're we're organizing this ministry, and so this project has a very wide scope because it's something that we want to do to follow the provinces. We are a congregation of the Agustinians of Asunción, we're called the Assumptionistas. We're French. We're present in 33 countries for the time being. We've found some problems where we want to work to respond to our mission, to the kingdom of God. First of all, the dramatic situation of the refugees and those who are in war situations. We also have places where we have vulnerable adults and children because of poverty. We also work to help children who are orphans and migrants, especially in Greece and in the US, orphans, especially in Vietnam. There's we accompany these orphans. We also want to influence public policies like sustainable economy, justice, human rights, especially in European countries where we find ourselves right now. Another area which is very common in our provinces and especially in the districts where we are inserted, in the parishes where we work. This has to do with solidarity with people who are socially vulnerable. So we're talking about the elderly, women who are pregnant, single mothers. After this, we have the schools, we have the issue of the education of kids and youngsters in integral ecology, and also the issue of deforestation, especially in Madagascar. This is a problem that we really have to confront. So the second point that we would like to mention, according to the we want to promote fraternity. We want to promote intercultural communities through a good style of life with the migrants, with the poor people, and with the refugees. So they want to promote a dignified style of life. Through the alliance that we live, we have an alliance that we call Lay People and Religious Alliance. So this alliance is with those who share our charism and also the mission that we promote where we are. So we want to use this alliance in order to develop a culture of justice, reconciliation, and peace, educating for the dialogue and reconciliation, the nonviolence, and the pacific management of conflicts in the spirit of faith, co-responsibility. We want to work in network with the other congregations of the Assumption family. It's formed by 5 different congregations, and we have so many things in common, and we organize ourselves in different fronts of labor, and this JPIC organization is one of them. So we wish to continue with these organizations, and we also want to continue with other organizations which have experience in defending human rights, the cause of the poor people, integration, for example, Caritas, Viva Internacional, and others. So now I'm going to describe our activities. We want to promote, we want to use and protect clean water, contamination. We want to promote basic sanitation for the future generations who don't have this resource. We wish to participate in reforestation. We wish to promote also the prevention of deforestation to response to what the poor people need. We want to call the attention to the humanitarian emergencies with actions of solidarity, where there are conflicts, where the climate changes are extreme, where those who are the refugees and those who are dislocated to adopt a sustainable life type of life. We want to promote sustainability, solidarity and sustainability. We wish to promote these values with refugees, with migrants, and we want to follow, we want to assist those who are displaced as well. We want to assist them psychologically and legally and socially. We want to guarantee the literacy of children, especially in difficult situations where schooling doesn't move forward due to the political instability of these places. Well, also reports of injustice situations, things that make the life of the population difficult. We also want to invest in knowledge of the cause of these problems through sessions, for example, virtual sessions for the congregation, for the set of the congregations with which we work. For the non-violence culture, we wish to organize activities of training for the peaceful solution of conflicts with different initiatives in the communities, in the parishes, in the schools, and also in radio transmissions. We also want to animate and have subsidies for celebrations in the communities in important dates also. For example, the birthday of some witnesses that we call martyrs of our congregation. So we also share our web situations, and we also want to offer moments to pray for peace. We also have a congregation that is contemplative, and they help us a lot with preparing prayers and subsidies. Schools also, we want to educate young people and other people for work. So the numbers that we have, the ecological, economical, the sustainable life, resilience, and empowerment of communities. Here are some photos that illustrate what we do, what we hope to achieve with these initiatives. The participation of all the religious communities and also lay groups of the Alliance, working for peace, especially in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and he mentions the areas where there are dislocated people, formations, violence, reconciliation, and also collect funds for the humanitarian and initiatives of self-financing, education projects, people who live in the streets, older people, people who are pregnant, single mothers, people that have psychological issues, especially caused by war trauma. The plantation of trees due to desertification, religious people information, specialize in human rights, in leadership, sessions of formation in the 3 official languages of the congregation, Spanish, French, and English, the organization of meetings of formation for the formation family, and also the different provinces. We are a network of congregations with a common vision, especially in 3 points: the passion of God or the kingdom of God, and through the fraternal life, according to St. Augustine, education as the means to transform society. And the vision, the integrated vision, we understand evangelization as the integral promotion of man, love, and justice. Some challenges that we have is to find people that are available and competent for this. Another challenge that we have is that the congregation has a number of religious information, and our ministries, they need support of people and economical resources. Finally, of the initiatives that happen in France and in holiday places, and also a group of orphans who are assisted in Vietnam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joao, for this big project that you have presented on behalf of the Assumption family. I think I like this idea of families coming together to have a common plan that you can implement. And I think this is something we have to move towards, working together. And the presenters before also mentioned this collaboration with religious congregations. And even if we don't have the same, the Assumption, they just happen to have many families that they have come together. And I think we can collaborate with others if we can build our own internal network. And I was happy to hear that the poor people you are going to help is not just the poor people in the global south, but also in the global north. You are looking at the reality of today, because I say today poverty in America is worse than some of the global south countries. And then you have really mentioned countries that I was a bit surprised, but when I started to reflect, I say it's true. Poverty today is everywhere. And we have to open our eyes to see the poverty in the rich countries. And sometimes that is the worst poverty even than the poverty in the global south. And you are going to reach out to these people. I'm very happy about that one. And we really need to collaborate from different parts of the world if we want to make this world a better place, because there are issues everywhere, not just only in one part of the world. Thank you. And you and your Assumption family, I wish you well. So now you have seen another type of project, which is very important. I like it. So bring your comment, give your comments, your suggestions, your questions to Joao to help him improve on his on the plan of the Assumptionist family, because this belongs to a very big family. Any question, if you don't, there's something you need to clarify. If not, comments and suggestions and encouragement. Yes, Sister Melinda.
Thank you, Father. Yeah, Father Joao, for
Yeah.
your sharing. And I like the inclusion of the lay people in the plan. And then I like to verify the timeline that you have, because you have very good activities, numerous activities, and I wish to know. So I would also learn how to concretize my own plan. The timeline that you have for your project. Thank you.
Thank you. Joao, you have an answer for him? Timeline for her.
Well, Melinda, I can tell you the following. We're not starting from zero. We're organizing this work because a lot of small initiatives already exist, but all of this a bit isolated and fragmented. So we are working to be able to organize this. We have small initiatives that end up in bigger initiatives. So we're already carrying out beautiful ministries, and what we have to do is advance. So in truth, the timeline, it's not rigid, because we're already moving. We're already on the way, and what we're doing now is advancing on this timeline.
Is it helpful?
Yes, sister.
Okay, good. Thank you. Any other comments, suggestions? Okay. Then thank you very much, Joao, for this wonderful project. So we hope to see you at the final presentation, maybe with other things included. Thank you very much. So now we'll go to the next one. It's for Sister Jethro. She's not here, but we are going to read out her project because she's on a retreat and it was already booked, so she could not do otherwise. So we will. And then if you have some suggestions or comments to help her improve, she'll be happy about that. I invite Lucia to do it on behalf of Sister Jethro.
So Actually, I'm reading this part. Sister Jethro, she belongs to the Christian Eastern of San Francisco. And the title of the plan that she has drafted is Franciscan Pathways to Faith, Promoting Dynasty within Communities of Consecrated Women, Youth Empowerment, and Care for Creation. The plan should be implemented, as I understand, in Cameroon, as well as in Bolivia, Italy, Austria, Nigeria, and Congo in span time from April to November. Inspired by the Catholic living the gospel of our Supreme Lord, we respond to the signs and needs of our time. We hear the call.
Inspired by our charism, living the gospel as our supreme norm, we respond to the signs and needs of our times. We hear the call to be an empowering presence in the world, expressed through a commitment to accompany, uplift, and empower ourselves and then others, individuals, and other individuals, families, and communities, the poor, the vulnerable, and those whose dignity is threatened. Through education, pastoral, health, and social outreach, we seek to promote self-reliance, restore hope, and foster transformation. In our mission areas, particularly Cameroon, Nigeria, Congo, Paul, Bolivia, Italy, the realities present significant challenges that call for an empowering and coordinated response. The ongoing sociopolitical crisis in most countries cause displacement of families, migration, disruption of community life, increased poverty, loss of lives, trauma, and insecurity. The vulnerable children and youth fall prey to human trafficking and exploitation and limited moral guidance. Overcrowded cities and rivers are homes for toxic waste and environmental degradation with limited awareness of responsible care for the environment. These realities not only affect people's living conditions, but also limit their capacity to take charge of their lives, making the need for empowerment-oriented interventions even more urgent. Objectives of the plan: to promote inner peace and nonviolent communication in religious communities, to empower youth as ambassadors of peace, to increase visibility of tertiary sister JPIC initiatives, to promote environmental responsibility and clean communities. And the highlights of the Laudato Si goals are cry of the earth, cry of the poor, adoption, sustainability, sustainable lifestyles, ecological education, community resilience, and empowerment. The activities, timeline, and indicators. Activity 1, orientation and awareness. Tertiary Franciscan community sensitization, making peace a daily practice and fundamental option. And this will be from April to May 2026. And the indicators will be, they will draw a provincial and congregational action plan, and then there will be workshops, peace circles, awareness materials, daily peace practice. Content development will be create simple teaching materials, daily inner peace practices, 5 to 10 minutes routine, language of love versus verbal violence guide, and develop slogans, e.g., speak to heal, not to hurt. Community engagement, organize monthly community talks, small dialogue circles, train community facilitators and volunteers, use storytelling, role play, and real life examples. Activity 2, building a culture of peace for youth, students in secondary and vocational schools, pupils in primary schools, to be ambassadors of peace, and this will be May to June. Identify and approach primary, secondary, and vocational schools. Get approval from school authorities. Create peace educational toolkit, conflict resolution basics, emotional intelligence, anti-bullying practices, peace clubs, interactive workshops, ambassador training, school event. Select peace ambassadors and train them as peer leaders. Organize Peace Day events, debates, drama, competition, promote forgiveness and reconciliation, prayer for peace initiative. Next slide. Activity 3, create visibility and awareness of our initiatives and activities at all levels, especially on our website, June, September, November 2026. And the website update, storytelling, social media, and local media. The numbers are very small. I'm struggling. Content creation, they'll use blog also. They'll just use a social media for all this. And then the social media integration, use platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and etc. And then you have post consistently. Okay. Activity 4, waste management drive. Operation Keep Our Environment Clean. Begin little by little. Community first, immediate environment, neighborhood, markets. June, September, November 2026. And they will do a pilot to start small from their own community, immediate environment, identify key areas or streets, markets, and schools, community mobilization, organize monthly cleanup exercise, provide gloves, bags, basic tools, educate on waste separation and hygiene practice, awareness campaign, use projects and do community announcement, etc. Sensibility, set up community waste, awareness campaign, use posters and do community announcements, sustainability, set up community waste leaders and make a regular cleanup schedule. Cleanup drives, waste education, recycling initiative. Then activity 5 will be coordination, management, and operation. And this will be November 2026. Administration and communication, travel between countries for workshops and supervision, and coordination and management. Okay, this is the budget, and the budget is the budget is done according to each activity, because this helps you know how much money you need if you have to look for it, which I find it is very good. So I'm not going to go into the finance. So how your community charism relates, how their community charism relates to this. The Tertiary Sisters of St. Francis charism is living the gospel values as our supreme norm. We respond to the signs and needs of our times. Our values are hospitality, conversion, compassion, and simplicity. The above-mentioned charism and values are pointers to pro-justice and peace in its entirety. Simplicity is seen in practical, low-cost activities accessible to all. Compassion guides our outreach to the poor, displaced, and vulnerable. Respect is promoted through human dignity awareness and inclusive participation. Empowerment is central as individuals are equipped with knowledge and skills to become agents of change. As pilgrims of hope, we foster resilience, healing, and encouragement in communities affected by hardship. By responding to the signs and needs of our times, the plan addresses urgent issues such as conflict, human trafficking, and environmental degradation. Each activity is therefore not only functional, but a living expression of our identity and mission in today's world. So the fruitfulness, objective 1 will be to increase awareness, improve relationships, and visible behavior change. And the objective 2, youth-led peace initiatives, students, ambassadors trained. And objective 3, increase visibility and engagement, website traffic growth, social media engagement, public recognition. And the 4, cleaner environment, increase awareness, and community participation levels. And the comment, the plan emphasizes empowerment over dependency, ensuring that beneficiaries become active participants rather than passive recipients. It promotes a holistic approach, integrating justice, peace, and care for creation in all apostolates. Strong attention is given to grassroots involvement using community representatives and school clubs to ensure wide reach and sustainability. The plan encourages practical, low-cost actions that can be easily implemented within local realities. It also highlights collaboration and networking with local partners to strengthen impact. Continuous formation and awareness remains central, fostering change of mindset and behavior inspired by our charism. The project insists on being a visible, empowering presence, especially among the poor and vulnerable youth, while nurturing responsibility and creativity. This action plan also integrates Franciscan spirituality with practical community action to promote peace, empower youth, and care for creation. It is designed to be simple, adaptable, and sustainable across all tertiary Franciscan mission countries. So, any question, any comment, any suggestions, any encouragement for Sister Jethro? Anything that you think can help her improve? Because this is a congregational project. Somebody wanted to say something?
Hello.
Yes, hello, welcome.
Yes, thank you, sister. I just want to say I want to appreciate her even though she's absent. I found it is very explicit, time bound with the concrete actions and very practical way of putting the words and the year plan with the budget and everything, and very realistic and easily achievable. I found, since it is a clear plan that way. I'm happy to learn from that.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah.
Vincent?
The plan is very good, and the inclusion of budget makes the plan more realistic. In the plan format, the objectives which are at the end, they have to come from the first part of the plan, and then the activities. Also, it'd be nice if she's able to indicate the person responsible for certain activities, or instead of finance, if they put resources needed, then under that they can give financial resources needed, human resources needed. It can make the plan still workable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other suggestions? Okay, so thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Father Vincent to give us this pastoral cycle, which we follow in our plans to help you improve on your plans. Thank you. Welcome.
Dear sisters and brothers, we are very happy having gone through these 3 plans. And I also noted that Sister Min, the name is long, I make it very short, is participating to learn about how to make our apostolates. That way, this presentation can help us to improve our plan and to learn how to make, as Catholic missionaries, social projects. First, let me give you the gist of the presentation. I'm going to work on this on one particular issue, that is infanticide. Infanticide means the children dying or children being killed. Now, how do we see this? First of all, we have to see that this is happening around us. There are still feticide happening. In some parts of the world, female children are killed. Children also die due to illness, hunger. So we need to become aware of this happening. This is seeing. Then, having seen this, we make a discernment or judgment. Usually the word judging is a little more harsh. If we can use the word discerning or reflecting. What we discern? Here, we ask a question, why children are dying? Is it because of economic reasons, political reasons, social causes? Why they are dying? And then, as part of the reflection, we also go to reflect as Catholic missionaries what the Bible says about it, about the children, what the social teachings of the church says about it, what the United Nations Convention say about it. When Joao was presenting his plan, I was very happy that in the level of formation to the formies, he has included reading the Bible from justice perspective, learning about the human rights instruments of the United Nations, learning social doctrines of the church. So we need to learn these to reflect on this social reality of infanticide. So what all these say? And apart from that, we need to also reflect what our founder says about it, foundress says about it. What are the resolutions of our general chapters, provincial chapters? Is it specifically our charism? because the world needs are many, but each congregation is founded with a charism. So are we called to pay full attention to this? And after having made this reflection and judgment, then we go for making plans. The first act of making plan is we need to pray. I personally tell myself and to others that one who cannot meditate every day 1 hour at least cannot to do social transformative actions. With our anger, we may be causing more problem in the society than it was previously. Therefore, we need to pray, meditate, and ask God what we have to do. The second step is we have to do this along with the community. There are individual fighters. That's not a Catholic mission. As a community, and with the participation of the people among whom we are going to work. So with this method, we draw the lines of action and we implement it. While implementing, we need to have assessment whether the project is going well. This is called a formative assessment, formative evaluation. At the end of the project, again, we do the evaluation. And this experience coming from the evaluation becomes a new seeing to continue the project. So this is the summary, and we'll go into a little more details. I request you to recall one of your community members, congregation members involved in social apostolates, and recall your experience about that sister or a brother and the work that is being done. Your recalling may say that some people who are involved in social work, justice work, are individualistic. They don't want others to share. They may not pray. They work like NGOs. They may be causing more criticisms towards general, provincial, community superior, may not be in peace, may be getting angry. Also, we will have people who are very inspiring, fulfilling, encouraging, inviting others to participate. We have both the types of people. In this methodology of see, judge, act, or be aware, discern, and then act, we are going to say how we need to do a mission, an apostolate as a Catholic missionary. Since we want to do this in the background of female infanticide, let me tell a story. This story is told by Paul Alinsky in the year 1930. Was social reformer and community organizer. He says his story. There is a river. People go on the roadside, take a walk to spend time. One day suddenly they see children floating in the river. They are moved in the heart. Some of them jump into the river and save the children. And when they save one child, and more children are coming. Therefore, more people come from the villages. They jump. And some of the children are saved. Some already are taken away by the water. Even some of the rescue workers, they also die. And for the saved children, even after saving, some of them die, lack of facilities. Therefore, they need a hospital. They develop a hospital. They have swimming schools so that they're able to jump and rescue the children. There are ambulance services. They start schools for the children who are surviving. They start adoption services. So the project goes on and goes on. And at that time, one man jumps into the river without saving the child, swimming across the stream. And people say, when children are dying, you are not saving them. What are you doing? Don't you have a heart? That man says, you save. I want to find out who are throwing the children into the river and want to stop them. Immediately, there is a shock among the people. If the children do not come in the river, what would happen to the hospital, the school, adoption services, hundreds of people who are employed here, their livelihood? They are really shocked. In this story, I want to ask 3 questions. 1, what were the people aware of? They were aware that the children were coming in the river. Did the people discern, make a judgment? Why? They have not done it. They are moved by emotions, jumped into it. They didn't take a time to develop the project. Find out the reasons. What they were committing to do? Hospitals, ambulance services, adoption services, education, and all that. In this, where did people go wrong? Can any of you say? Is it by seeing at the level of discernment or in commitment in the actions? You can very easily understand there was no discernment. The judge part was missing. They saw, as you can see in the picture lens, they didn't evaluate why. And they started into action. And that's why the project has failed to a certain extent. Therefore, as a Christian missionaries, Catholic missionaries, when we do projects, it has to be based on the judge act method. We should not think This is invention of somebody, individuals. Yes, it comes from the great experience of the church. Initially, it was introduced by Cardinal Joseph Cardinal. He was the one who introduced this concept. See Judge Act. In Mater Magistra, Pope John 23rd inculcated into this. In the first paragraph, you read this. There are 3 stages which should normally be followed in reduction of social principles into practice. First, one reviews the concrete situation. So there is infanticide, children are killed. Secondly, one forms a judgment in it, why they are being killed. And this judgment should be based on the gospel, social teachings of the church, congregational charisms. Third, one decides to act. Therefore, our apostolate has to be based on see, judge, act, or look, judge, act, or be aware, discern, and commit. And this is also followed in many other encyclicals. As you know, Laudato Si follows this methodology. Francis sees the ecological reality, world reality, makes a judgment of it, and then goes for action. Therefore, we need to follow this methodology to make the work more effective, more Catholic, more communitarian. Now let me explain what I already told you, this methodology a little more. So this is the pastoral cycle. Pastoral cycle is doing theology. We study theology. In the mission, we do theology. Pastoral cycle is doing the praying. We pray in the church and we pray with the people. That is the pastoral cycle. So how it begins with? It begins with our experience, life experience. I see children dying. And my conscience says that it has to be stopped. It cannot be allowed to continue. Then I go for analysis. What is the reason for this? Any social causes are there? Is it because of poverty, economic cause? Is it because of political reasons? Is it because of social factors? Any historical factors? Any cultural factors? There are communities where they kill the female babies. Any scientific factors behind this? So we need to make an analysis. And after analysis, we go for faith response. If this is the reason by which the infanticide is taking place, what the Bible says about it, what the social doctrine of the church says about it, what my congregational tradition says about infanticide, so we respond. And then when you see that this is your charism, you are called to do this, then you are going to fully involve into this. Your charism may be educational apostolate, but take this education, this issue into the apostolate of education. Depending on your charism, you need to respond to this. If you read the Bible says a lot about it. Say Psalm 127:3 says, children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. Jesus also says about it. Matthew 18:10, see that you do not despise one of these little ones. Also we have in the Catholic Church, saving the children is one of the primordial mission of the Catholic Church. And the Church also has ratified the Charter of the Rights of the Family. That's Yvon Charter. Also, the Church is having a lot of schools, Catholic schools, through which we are serving. And Church also has ratified Catholic rights of Convention on the Rights of Children. Therefore, in its teaching, in its doing, the Catholic Church is very particular to take care of the children. Now you can take a few seconds to think. Children in the life of our founder, your founder. Children in the charism of your congregation. Children in your chapter resolution. So if there are positive answers, then you have to think in what way you are going to respond to the problem of infanticide. Not all are called to go into the street, save the children, build houses for them. But we need to participate in this from the perspective of our charism. Therefore, and after this, we go for planning. Planning is what are we going to do to remove the symptom of the cause of infanticide, symptom and the cause of infanticide. So in the planning, the first thing is, as I told you, prayer. Without prayer, if you are making a project, it may not be very, very fruitful. And then we have to do it along with the community. In your annual plan, you have to think about it. It has to be born from the community. And then community can assign a person to take care of this. Therefore, it cannot be, I like it, therefore I want to do this. It's more individualistic. It's not a Catholic plan. The second thing is for planning, we have to involve the people with whom we are going to work. If there is infanticide in a particular town, involve the town people in planning, in execution, and in evaluation. Because whatever is done for people, without the participation of people, is not for the people. It is for our money, our ego, to make ourselves visible. That we have to do along with the people. And while planning, you have to see the future vision. Where are you going? Assess your resources, human resources, financial resources. Always our resources are less than the needs. Then we would prioritize. Where are you going to spend your resources first? And then create appropriate structures. Also foresee the obstacles that can come in the planning itself. Therefore, the planning has to be, what are we going to do? How are you going to do? Who is going to do? Where are we going to do? When are we going to do? So all these 5 aspects at least have to be in the planning. So this can be a small plan format. What will be done and how it will be done? Where it will be done? So I have told you what we can do, where we are going to do, who is responsible for it, and when it will be done, time frame, and then means resources, human resources, financial resources, skills. These have to be become part of plan so that the plan is realizable. Therefore, after having made this plan, we implement it and we start evaluating it. Evaluation is assessing our action and learning from our mistakes. And then from this learning, we go to the number 1, the new experience. The evaluation, there are 4 stages. First of all, while planning the action, you need to make need assessment, what we need. And when the project is going on, we need to make assessment where it is going in the correct direction. That is formative assessment. Then at the end, we do summative assessment. And from this summative assessment, we have a new experience. And this new experience becomes new seeing as a new plan. In the summative assessments, we ask some basic questions. What did we do well? What were our strengths? What were our failures or mistakes? What were our weaknesses? What can we improve and how? How do we continue working with this issue into the future? So with this, it becomes a new experience for us and the project continues. So experience, analysis, theological reflection, response, evaluation, and then continuing the project. So for this, there are many books available. So these are books, Models of Contextual Theology for 21st century, Constructing Local Theologies, Doing Local Theology, The New Catholicity. There are many other books available. You can use them. So thank you.
So thank you, Father Vincent, for this practical way of presenting the pastoral cycle. As you have shown, it's a cycle. It's not a linear thing. It's not the hierarchical thing. So you start, you go to the end, you evaluate, and you start the cycle again. So thank you so much. Is there any question or any comment before we close? So dear friends, we have come to the end of the preparation for our presentations of actions. We are reminded that our mission does not end here. It begins instead. The plans we have shared are not merely ideas, but concrete commitments to live our vocation as faithful stewards and co-creators in a prophetic and countercultural way, especially in a world often marked by self-interest and exploitation. Our actions are not driven by personal gain, but by a clear purpose to contribute to the transformation of our world and the flourishing of all creation for the greater glory of God. Rooted in God's call in Genesis and mindful of the brokenness brought about by the fall, we are now sent forth with a clear mission to refine, strengthen, and where possible, implement our action plans. And where possible, those who are here who have not presented plans, you can also send your plans. You can still do it. You have the opportunity. Just do it, send it to us, and you will be included in the final presentations. So if you wish to do so, we warmly encourage you to share your plans as well. Today, together, through realistic and collaborative efforts, we are called to restore, heal, and transform our common home, especially in service of the most marginalized and vulnerable. And this is what your plans have shown. Every action we take, no matter how small, carries real value, contributing to the rebuilding of harmony with God, with one another, and with all creation. Let us therefore move forward with clarity of purpose, commitment to concrete actions, and trust in a defined path forward, sustained by hope in the risen Lord who renews all things and works with us in our mission. May our plans bear visible fruit, may our collaboration deepen our impact, and may our shared commitment become a credible witness to justice, peace, and integrity of creation. I sincerely thank each one of you present here for your participation and for presenting your plan. Whether you have presented a plan or not, your contribution through presence, collaboration, and shared reflection has enriched this gathering. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our translators whose service has ensured understanding, inclusion, and meaningful exchange among us. May the Lord bless you and your families abundantly. And I would like to encourage all of you that because from what you showed in your plan, you have members in different continents. And we have started the JPIC continental group, working groups. So encourage your promoters wherever they are to join the continental working groups, the JPIC continental working groups. And we have coordinators for each continent. If you want more information, just write to us. We'll send you the names of the coordinators and their contacts, and you can ask your members to contact them and they will be part of this group. I forgot to say this morning, okay? Because as you were showing, to be strong, we have to come together, you know? If we want to bring transformation in our world, we have to come together because the rich, they are together. You know, when they are in public places, they deceive us as if they are fighting. It's not true. And after they go to drink coffee together, they plan their evil actions to exploit the rest of us. So let us learn also to unite and collaborate and network. So I really wish you all the best in implementing your plans. And as I said, those who have not implemented, part of the reason why we have this preparation before is we know that there are people who come to learn and after they go now to write, and we have had that. So send us your plans, okay? So that we can bring our little drops to fill the sea. Thank you, and God bless you, and thank you, our translators. May the Lord bless all of you, and we will see you. Yes.
One doubt, sister, maybe I misunderstood. I wanted to write the action plan, but
Yeah.
I thought first you will send the format and there will be some presentation preparation, then we have to finalize. That is why I thought today it is that way, but I did not get the format also. So if you get, yes.
Okay, so what we want to
maybe-
say, people should send their names. If you are interested, then we will send you the forms. Maybe you did not get
Okay.
them because you did not write to say you are interested to present. Those who send, we send to them, but now that we know, we'll send it to you. If you want to, please send us your interest, and then we'll send you the forms to fill. But
Okay. So should I send it where? Email or?
Lucia will put our email address on the chat and you can contact us.
Okay, okay, sister. Thank you.
Yeah, Sister Melinda and Vanessa.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Are we going to represent our final plan or
Yes.
on April 13th?
Yes. So now going now from the comments that have been made from the presentation that Father Vincent has done.
Yeah.
Now you go and you rework your plan, and then now you will present it on the 30th.
Okay, following the same format.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The same form we sent to you. Yes. Maybe we'll send a letter again just to make clear if it is not clear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao, Lucrecia.
Thank you, sister.
Marie.
Thank you.
Yes. And Vivian, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you all. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.